taking his daughter to the bush to cut her head off and use her for ritual because he was part of the occultic group. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's RUKKY FIM here again, and in today's video I am going to be talking to you guys about a movie that I watched. It's like a chit chat. I need to talk to you guys about what I saw. I was so excited and I decided to come and share my views on this movie. And this is not a critical analysis, or I'm not a critic, and I'm not like a movie reviewer or whatever. I'm just a regular person that saw a movie and loved it and wants to talk about it with you guys, my family. So if you are new to my channel, please click that subscribe button right there, and if you are a returning subscriber, I am so grateful. Thank you for sticking with this small family. We're going to be big soon, so you better stick with us. Thank you. Okay, so let's jump right into this video. So recently I was on Instagram and I saw on Tunde Ednot's page where he talked about living in bondage, how he was so entertained and how the actor there was good and how he thanks people that haven't seen it should see it. He wasn't like promoting anything, he was just airing his view on what he thought about the movie. And when that movie came out, was released, I wasn't moved, I didn't care. I'm like, okay, so because normal Nigerian cinema films overhyped. You get to the cinema and you're like, let's see it, and you watch it, and you're like, was it worth the hype? So I just thought it was one of those, and so I didn't bother. So seeing this now with all this lockdown thing going on, I'm like, it's not like I'm doing anything. How about I just watch it? Based on the fact that I haven't seen the first Living in Bondage that was released in 1992. It was written by Kenneth Nnebu or something. Oh my god. Nnebu. Forgive me if I do not pronounce it right. Forgive me. It was written by him, and the actors there, great actors. I came on YouTube and I checked it out and I watched it finally. That movie was out before I was even born, but look at me now going back to watch it, and I feel like I'm the only one that have not watched the first Living in Bondage. So after watching that, I felt like before I could watch the sequel, I should see the first one. So after I saw the first one, I watched the sequel, which is Breaking Free, blah blah blah. Push that play button. What started? Darkness. It was just totally dark, and there was a voice, a little girl's voice singing an Igbo song, and that song is like a popular Igbo song that they sing to kids to make them sleep. Yeah. So it was total darkness, of course. Her voice came up, and then the light came gradually and took over the darkness. And while she was singing this song, when it was dark, it was just her voice. There was no instruments, there was no keyboard, beats, whatever. It was just her voice. And when the light came on, there was now like an instrument, there was like a tune that came with her voice, and it was good. I loved it. It's not like it's scary, but there was something about it you just want to listen, and I was just so loving it. So they were not showing anyone at first. It was just a car moving in between like in a road, bushes everywhere, and boom, they show like, what's his name again? and his daughter, he was taking his daughter to the bush to cut her head off and use her for ritual, because he was part of the six, a brotherhood and a cultic group. Sorry, spoiler alert for those that have not seen this movie. No, because me, I will try not to spoil everything, but you know now. So he cuts her head off, and after that scene was kind of very slow and bitter, and there was this vibe with that scene, that first scene. So after that, boom, it was music, like a hot music showing the main character, Nnamdi Okeke. It was him going to a club. So here I'm talking about the soundtrack of this whole movie. The soundtrack was amazing. I loved everything about it. It was well thought out, like they thought this thing through. Whoever it was, whoever they were that selected the soundtrack for Living in Bondage, Breaking Free should be worshipped. Yes, I said it. It was awesome. Like every sound that came up for every scene was like bread and butter. They worked together. It was perfect together. You get me? I love everything about the soundtrack. The soundtrack that came when Nnamdi came into when the movie started, to when Nnamdi entered the club, and when he saw his friend, because he entered the club with a friend, then he saw a female friend and said hi to her, and she now went to the VIP section, and he wanted to follow her there. So she got in, and while he was about to get in with her, because he was with his friend, the bouncer stopped them, and the bouncer was like, "This is my VIP, I can't let you in, blah blah blah." And she's like, "Guy, no, enter now, she all those kind of things." And the bouncer refused, so the bouncer started hitting him on his chest to get out. So something happened. There was a pause. Nnamdi was pissed. You could see it on his face. He's like, because of, he didn't say anything. I could just feel like what the message he was trying to pass at that beat was, because of club, you don't want me to get into the VIP, that's why you're hitting me on my chest. In his head, he's like, I need to make this money. I need to. Finally, at that pause, he was looking at them. There was something magical that happened. There was already a song at the background, and when he took that pause to look at them in the VIP, the song changed immediately. And that song was something that blended with, I think he changed the song twice, I can't remember, but I know that scene was very beautiful for me to listen to and watch at the same time. Where Obinna Omegu, which is in Wigwe in real life, the way he was partying with his girls, the movements, the slow motion, the pause from Nnamdi's side was perfect. I loved that. Then secondly, another part I liked was when Ramsey Noah, with Richard Williams in the movie, Nnamdi in the movie, Swanky JKA in real life, in Wigwe, which is Obinna Omegu in the movie. And this guy, Chuka in the movie, I've forgotten his real name, sorry, that fair tall guy, he's acted Tinsel, I think. Yeah, they were walking, they came out of their cars, walking towards the airplane, the private plane, and the slow motion there, and the music that came with it, the soundtrack that came with it was beautiful. Like, soundtrack was done by professionals. It was not just randomly picked, like putting any song there. It worked with every scene and every beat. Whichever soundtrack they put was perfect. I love the soundtrack. Yeah, and another part I like was I think that's what I can remember for now. The language. First of all, I'll start by saying I'm not even Igbo, but the Igbo that is spoke in that film, it suits me down. It suits me down. I don't even lie. Like, it was so real. There was nobody struggling with that language. The one that even surprised me was Ramsinoa. I know that he's not Igbo and he spoke Igbo very well there. He tried. He wasn't struggling. Everybody that spoke Igbo there was no phone inside the Igbo. When they were speaking Igbo, they spoke it perfectly well. When they were speaking English, perfectly well. Pidgin English, perfectly well. The way the words just came out of their lips freely, there wasn't no. So Ramsey really showed me that he did research, he really put his best to, everything, and the Igbo was good. I'm excited with the realness of this film, like the fact that you can relate to a lot of things in it. I'm talking about Igbo, I'm not talking about other tribes. An Igbo man or an Igbo girl will not see a fellow or his fellow Igbo person or Igbo brother and now speak English okay for what? Igbo must be inside. There must be Igbo speaking there. They must speak that Igbo for you. And I love that. I saw that in that film. That was something. That switch to their native tongue, like in between. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I liked that. And about the acting, this is actually my first time watching a movie of Swanky JKA. He played Nnamdi Okeke in this sequel of Living in Bondage, and he did a great job. He's a good actor. He is He really surprised people. He really surprised me. Good actor. I don't know any other person that would have done better. I think he was perfect for that. The casting, Jesus, the casting was good. Everybody from Kelly, that's Nnamdi's girlfriend, I think her real name is Munachi, to Tobe, Nnamdi's brother, his name is Sean in real life. His real name is Sean. I don't know what I'm saying in real life. He was good. Kanayo, Bob Manuel Udoku, Kenneth Okonkwo. They were all good. I was impressed. The casting, I don't know any other person that would have done better than them. They were top notch. I enjoyed everything. But there was one character though that I did not fancy. A lot of his movies, he's a good actor, but you see this film, the character he acted, I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to do this crazy, obsessed journalist trying to, get a story because he's obsessed about something, acting like a crazy person. That was what they were trying to do, but I feel like the actor did not succeed in revealing that character to its fullest to me. That's what I thought. But I know that, I think his name is David Jones, David. Yeah, I think he's a good actor, but I don't know if this problem was from him or the director, or he didn't do enough research on this kind of character. I don't know, but I wasn't feeling it. Then that was the only problem I think I kind of had with this. And yeah, and there was another scene that I loved. This lady, Nek, that woman that acted Nek at the Pretty Serpent, I don't know her real name. She was really good. You know that bit where it just reminded me of what some of my aunties would do when they haven't seen me for a long time. That church, when they went to the church and they came out of the church. You know how Igbo people are now. No Igbo man, no matter how much money he has made in this life, he would always go back to his village for one reason or the other, and he would go to church. Yes. So when she saw Nnamdi Okeke and was trying to, you've all grown up, this one, that was very realistic, where she was like, I'm on Facebook, image chat or that kind of thing. I like that she said that because it was real. I have a lot of aunties that would say that to me. They are trying to let you know, yes, so I'm on board, so maybe only I can do social media. Yeah, I liked that. I think that lady is also a good actor. Then Tobe's mom in the movie, I think her name is Ebele something. I've known her for a long time. Like I've been watching a lot of her movies, and she's good too. Zulu, Tobe's father, great actor. Who else? I can't remember everyone right now, but I know that the casting was perfect. Perfect casting. God bless whoever did this casting. Because when you have trashy actors, the movie's gonna be trashy. There's no two ways about it. Like edit from now to tomorrow. But I loved it. Nancy, my girl, Isime, was in that movie. Even though she wasn't like, I like the fact that they didn't, because Nigerian films now, they always they want the star actor to be like the popular face every time. The star actor must be the popular face. But see, Nnamdi that they brought for this film, it's not like popular and all, but he did great. More than most of these star actors that they're always using every time. And I like the fact that Nancy was a little bit chilled in the movie, not like everywhere. She's a great actor. I like her a lot. She's pretty beautiful. Yeah. I'll talk about Ramsey Noah. That man is a vampire, and nobody can tell me any other thing. He is a vampire, and I am sure. I have proof. That film is proof. That man is over 49. Look at how he looks. He just looks like all those his old Playboy films. He's looking so good. This movie that he acted, the villain, perfect. He was a perfect fit. He did it so well. He wasn't trying hard. You can see how good his acting was. You can see it was just coming from the inside. He wasn't trying so hard to act well. He was just doing well. And he was a very mysterious character in that film. I loved everything he did. This movie was directed by Ramsey Noah and Charles Okaileki, and others. Love this film. Love the casting. Love the sound. Love the setting. I liked that there was the village setting where Nnamdi goes to his village and then he's in the city. You can see how the life in Nnamdi can be a village boy and a city boy. I liked that. I think they spent a lot of money in this movie, the production of this movie. I mean, look at the exotic cars, look at the housing, the setting, the costume, beautiful clothes. The costume was really good. I know the end of this movie where Johnny Lacey was exposing all of them, and he's like, I think they caught those other ritualists, the occultic men. They caught some of them, and they're like, they can't catch Richard Williams, and he has done a lot of research about him, and it happens to be that there's nothing about him. They can't trace where he was born, where he's from. Nobody knows anything about him. So they're trying to give us that vibe, like, could he be the devil? I love that. So when Ramsey saw the interview that this journalist was having on TV, he looked at it and he had this smirk on his face, like I'm angry and I'm happy. Like, let me try to make that face. Did I get it? No, I did not. So he had that look like, okay, could he be the devil? I loved that. The end of that movie was great. It ended well. The initiation scene, great costume, great setup, the props manager, perfect. Kudos to this film. I really love it. I wish I want to be part of something like this in the nearest future. Hallelujah. Amen. Jesus. I learned something. You know, this film is trying to show us that these occultic people, they exist. They're trying to shed light in this movie on the existence of this brotherhoods and all of those yama stuff. And I really do believe that they do exist. It's okay if you don't, but I do believe they exist. And in that bit where he was doing this initiation and RUKKY, I like the fact that it wasn't just black people during that initiation or the meeting, the brotherhood. They were not just black people. So this occultic thing goes beyond here. It's everywhere. It's everywhere and it exists. I believe that. So I think they were trying to educate us on that and at the same time entertain us. So this was a masterpiece. I loved this movie. I think after this video I'll go and watch it again and still find new things, and maybe we'll talk about it again. So you guys should please, I want this to be an interactive video. If you have watched this movie, tell me what your thoughts are on the movie, and if you think I'm getting something wrong from what I said, please correct me. But this is my personal opinion, what I feel about the movie. I think it was great, and you know how Nigerian films are usually overhyped, and I believe that this was definitely worth the hype. Yes, and yeah, because you know, most Nigerian films, they spend so much money on publicity and promoting, and they spend less money on production, and it usually makes the films crappy. But this was worth it. So this is the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and support me, and I'll be so grateful. Remain blessed. Till next time. Bye. Me, I don't slow.